Hey everyone. I know this was a unscheduled live. I don't usually do those. Can y'all hear me? Y'all have a 5x5 on me. But thank you. I don't usually do these. This is a Josh thing just to pop up, right? At least I announced it. Let me see who we got in here. Hey Michael, I saw you. Michigan Outpost. Saffron. Oh, that's fine. You can I figured many were. I don't think many will be in here. So you'll be in there with a bunch watching the replay. Oath Taker. Hey Snoopy, Mary, Charmaine. Constitutional Carpenter. Hey guys, so glad y'all are here. Y'all have to look out to the chat. My mod won't be able to be here because it wasn't scheduled, and that's fine. And it shouldn't be a long live, anyways. Y'all can hear me fine. I don't know what my computer is doing. Hopefully you can. Hey Colleen. So I want to give like quick updates on. Thank you, Snoopy. Hey Tiger. So with my channel, I've been gone. I appreciate the 5x5s, guys. I think I'm having a lag or something. Hey Southern Mimi. So obviously I've had to take some time off, which we knew that. I mean, we need that at time to time. I talk about that. And I was trying to sort through some things, and I've been busy this time of year, and I just needed that kind of step back. Hey Joe, Kevin, how you guys doing? If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hey Willow. Clifford, I see all you guys coming in. I just needed to take a step back, and we have to do that from time to time and kind of regroup about some things and some changes overall. And even when I started this, there were certain kind of boundaries even for myself and for this, being a creator, that there was boundaries that were set. That's the way it has to be. And that's the type of person I am in general. And then as time has gone and we get busy and trying to help go around other people's schedule and help people on and on and on, some of that started getting bent and pushed and knocked down along the way. And that can happen. And then it started getting to where unless it was kind of that, I think I was getting burnt out and I was getting exhausted with some of that. And I was getting resentful and just burnt out with all of this. And I had been talking before about some changes I wanted to make or things like that, but then it just kind of spirals. You get busy and you're helping each other out and you're doing lives and you're, on and on. And so I had to take this time and figure that out. I will keep my Sunday chat unless something comes up, like I was really busy last Sunday and it wasn't something we could stop. I knew I wasn't going to be done in time. And that happens, or if I was sick or something. But I'm kind of rebranding my channel. And I understand with doing this, it may not end up being for everyone because, it was built as a kind of in the prepping community for natural wellness because of what I do. Because I started this to help people. That has always been my goal. It was never been about numbers or doing this. It was about helping people because we all know what's coming, what's going on. And this is just my side. And I always tell people, do what's best for you. But that is why I started it. And some of it started getting kind of clouded as time goes. And I have to fix that for myself, because when it started to get where all of this and everything that can go with it started kind of stealing my peace and joy, I have to make a change. And so, there's certain boundaries I'm going to have to go back to and stick to. Hey, Rescue, I see you people. I see everybody coming. Hey, Steve, I see all you guys. I'm sorry if I missed you. And I don't have a mod, so sorry. Y'all going to have to look out for each other in here. I think it's kind of going to be, it's not that we're not preppers. And I've talked about this throughout my channel. I constantly bring up, this is kind of a life. This is a lifestyle for us. And this is just what I've known. So I never even labeled myself as a prepper until I was older, much adult, because I didn't know any different. This is the life I live, how I was raised, and how I raised my children. That's just what it is. And so I kind of am going to be, I don't think I'm going to be covering things anymore that's like prepper news type, how I do stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want there's wonderful channels, creators that cover most of that. And then, we know the tiptoeing around with YouTube and all that things. I just want it to be more of real life type things that I do, going towards more of that. And then the natural wellness type of stuff I cover, I'm still going to do that stuff. And because I have to dance around so much, which becomes exhausting. I want to give information, I want to help. And then you're like, well, hold my breath and see if I get a hit from that. Maybe not be now, maybe in 6 months or a year, but then I'm going to do things on, probably presenting things more on, this is how I use this, or what I choose to do with this, or things along that, because I'm not going to do chasing platforms on where I can, it just, when you're in this seat, and I'm not going to consume my entire life on doing things like this. Needs to be a small percent of my real life. And that is that's where things started getting out of hand. So I want y'all to know the changes. There are certain things that, I had talked about putting over on Liberty Tree. I'm still going to do that. Because there's still things like that. But as far as, it's going to be kind of that homesteading or self-sufficiency, or just real life things, or going on adventures with me in the woods, or different things, or in the garden, or if I am making things, it's going to be more like that. I also don't want to put myself in a limited box that, I'm in the prepping community here on YouTube, and that's what I'm doing. Because again, I want to help as many as I can across the board. That has always been my goal. Also, things started getting out of hand, and I had addressed this before. When I'm getting 30 and 40 emails a day, and I encourage people to email me, and that isn't it. And yes, there are times where it's like, there's a few bad apples that ruin it for the rest of it can do that. And not always, there's a lot of behind the scenes mess that goes on with this, there's a lot more than dealing when I'm come up here, I'm making content, or I'm doing a live, and it's the nice part of everything, that it becomes a lot more consuming, and sometimes it can feel like it drained the life out of you. For me to keep doing this, because I felt like God put me on this path for a reason, and I feel like he has not told me to stop, but there needs to be some changes. That is what all of this is about. And I want to give you guys a heads up, because most of y'all have been there. Y'all have been wonderful and supportive, and y'all are great to each other. Truly, I have people brag all the time, my mods and different people say, you have wonderful live chats and subs, and everybody's, very gracious to each other and respectful. And I truly break on you guys all the time, but I need to do this. But I am always, forthright with you guys. I tell you, I tell you about things, and I just believe in, I'm a big believer, I talk about preventive care all the time, but part of that also is self-care. We cannot pour from an empty cup. And I just need these changes for myself. We can't lose ourselves in trying to do something like this either. And I started seeing that, and the interference it was causing, and the time it was taken away from, the books I'm working on. Homestead it was just getting to interfering. And I allowed that. I'm not just pointing fingers. I allowed that to happen because I'm in control of this right here. I'm not in control of YouTube and their mess, or we get nonsense kind of behind the scenes and trolls, how all that goes. But for the most part, I am in control for that, and I have to take back control and set certain boundaries. And I needed to change, so it was something that I enjoyed, because when it gets to where you don't, it's like when you have a job you can't stand, and how that feels. You ever had a job you can't stand, and then how it feels to go to work, that dreaded sense. It started getting that way, because I still wanted to help people, and I missed myself, and things were going on. But then I just had that sense of dread, and I took time back, and I was trying to figure that out. So that is kind of what's been going on. And I want to let y'all know. And I haven't read any chat, so if you've asked me something, my apologies. So it's not going to be long, but I wanted to do it as a live, so the ones who were able to get in here could kind of, if you had, certain questions. It's not a big thing of I have to, give a lot of explanations, but I do feel like most of y'all deserve to know kind of what's going on, or if you see changes, because I'm not going to be branded as a prepping channel. Yes, I do that. Yes, I want people to keep doing that. And this may be wrong, and this may just be me. I'm kind of at the mindset that where we are, and I talk about all the time, it's like this far in the game, I'm not trying to make light of this, the chaos, the nonsense that's going on. We know what's going on. We see it nonstop. How can we not? All over the place. But I do have different feelings sometimes of being locked into identified as a prepping only channel. I'm not saying it's wrong with prepping channels. Don't take that and run with it. I'm saying for myself is a lot of it, if a lot of people aren't in this mindset yet, then they may not, they're not going to be, maybe. I don't know. So I don't want to just be branded that on the help I want to reach is only here as well. If that makes sense. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that correctly. But that's kind of what's been going on. Yes. Okay. So let me catch up. Yeah, there's always that clickbait. Who said that? Bucks for bucks. Yeah, there is. And I mean, I've always been this way. I'm not nothing fancy. I'm just kind of, just what you see is what you might. I'm glad y'all can't see my desk. It's a mess right now. Yeah, and we get burnout. We get that feeling. And me and Josh, I believe, have talked about a lot. And some of these stuff I've talked about, I've talked about it on my channel as well myself, is there's these shifts going on. And we talk about that. And it gets that way. And you have to, because and this is something Josh and I talk about, a lot of people talk about it, is being prepared, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all things like that. And if something's is dragging you down, we don't have time. I'm very protective over, I say, my energy, my negativity, or something that's draining me. And there's certain things that we can control and certain things we can't control. I can control this side of something. And so with that, I'm going to fix it or be done with it. And that's just the way I work. And so this is the time I took of what I'm going to do. Yeah. Like I say, that you're right. That's just, I'm like that. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you guys. And, I'm still going to do my things, but hey, Pilgrim, there's just going to be changes. There just has to be. Yeah, that's that sense, and we have to, there are times throughout life we have to embrace those changes for growth or well-being. And that's just kind of where things came to a head for me about stuff. I don't know how I juggle it. I do. But then I was getting where this was taking up too much. And because I was so consumed and so much was going in this, I was doing like 4 lives a week. And I was just, in my email, I would sit here for hours on end, and I was having tons of emails. And like I said, there's always those certain bad apples that are very, demanding and disrespectful. I can run into that. That is life. I get it. And most of you ignore, but then after it gets bombarded, it becomes draining and heavy. And I don't like that. But I had stopped doing things I enjoy, or I was getting behind on things that needed to be done because it just can become very consuming. And I kept saying, okay, after I do this, I'm gonna slow some of this back down and get my regular boundaries I'd set for myself to start this. Or okay, now it was, well, after this week, I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna go back to my kind of normal way of doing things. And it just kept going on and on and on. And I just about couldn't stand it. I was just at my wit's end with things. Oh, that's gross, Andy. I won't do that. Oh, I can't even stand to scroll on these. And I was a nurse, but that I don't. Yeah. Hey guys, I see all you coming here. I'm sorry I've missed so many of you. Yeah, that's true. This just had to be. And this was just my outlet to help people, but I never did it to, oh, I'm going to make all this money and my numbers. I don't, that wasn't my goal. If it happens, that is such a bonus because we do put a lot of time and energy and everything into these. But my goal has always been, it's been to help people. But then there are certain lines where you go to help people. And this doesn't just have to be on YouTube. I see this can be in your everyday real life, different levels of things. And I have said this before, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, because a lot of things started getting taken advantage of. And, certain things you kind of let roll off and go, but there was a lot of the emails that would come. I encourage about emails. And if you have like a question about or clarification, or I'm like, hey, I can't really go into depth because of this platform, what it is. But if you email me, if you have a confusion about something I covered, you can email me. But then when I want a personal on-call doctor, and I'm demanding, and if you don't answer me, I'm cussing you out. I am not taking and writing out protocols and one-on-one help anymore. I'm not doing that anymore, because there's people get paid $100, $150 an hour to do what I was doing for free. And then it was getting taken advantage of, and I was being severely disrespected. I'm not doing that. And it doesn't mean I'm trying to be heartless or I don't care. Those are boundaries. And that's just what it is. And this is kind of the things I talk about doing here is it's what I do, and it's the way of life we live. So I would always share that knowledge. But hey, Linda. Yeah, I'm big on boundaries. I don't care what it is. People who buck up against, and I've said this before, the people who buck up to boundaries you set, and if they get nasty about it, it's because they want to be disrespectful of your boundaries. That's the bottom line, because nobody should. Yes, I am. I have to have that, because I am. In general, I'm like a happy, easygoing, graceful person. I want to help people. That's just my personality. And then it becomes this sense of dread. And I really was like, I'm done. And all of us creators, some of the creators I'm close to, we've talked about that. And we've all I've been ready to walk a couple of times. That happens, but this was different. Part of it was my own fault. Part of it was because I wasn't saying, basically it came down to, I wasn't saying no, or saying, figure it out yourself, quit taking advantage of me, or just deleting things. So that's just what it is. And so I am going to kind of, like I said, I'm going to rebrand it. I think my thing is prepping for natural wellness. I'm not going to do that, because it's not just that. And it could be about gardening stuff. It could be about, cooking, preserving. When we're on hikes, it's just the way we live. And I just, if people get help from it, then I'm doing what I was set here to do, and I will have more peace about it. Hey, Backwoods, how are you? So I just wanted to, oh yeah. And then I don't mind, things like that, things that we've talked about. I don't mind things like that. That is what I'm here to do. And I offer that. And I have to be careful. I will say certain things like, hey, can you email me about that? Because I know I'm going to get it. I know I'm going to smack on YouTube, because that's the way they are. And that is my thing. I want to help you. But when I have, that's the only way I can explain it, is I have certain that it's ridiculous. And I don't mind. I understand. And I'll encourage people, even information I give, or even an email I give, I'm saying, this is but you need to do your own research, and you talk to your doctors. If you can find a holistic or integrated, or, different type of things that can work with you as well. I encourage that, because my thing is I'm trying to give direction, and I'm trying to give help, but I cannot spoon feed anyone. And then there's certain ones that come and they want me to spoon feed them. And then nothing is ever enough. And then I get emails demanding, you need to give me your phone number. I've had these emails, several, because you're not answering these timely enough. Well, you sent me 10 emails today. And you see what I'm saying? That's those boundaries of, and I'm guarded over my time and energy. Anyways, I have a family, I have a homestead. I'm like that. I cannot be 24/7 on the computer, on the phone. I don't like that anyways. And I'm enjoy a type life, and take those quiet moments and have your own personal peace. That's the difference I'm talking about, what's going on. And I knew, and I talked to, a few trusted, and my husband, and I've been praying about, I don't know how to address this, because I don't want it to come off like Don't ever get up with me. I'm not here to help. I'm not saying that. It's just that things got out of hand. It's like this big extreme over here. It was just too much. And I had to kind of address it as a whole. I have to, because because then I'll get people who are concerned and kind of like, are you okay? What's going on? You seem stressed. You seem different. And there were times I got up here and I was just like, I would have that feeling like, I just don't want to do this. But then I would feel the need to do it. Or I had made, it's hard to really explain, but this is where I am. And when I kind of gathered my thoughts and I had needed time to step back, this is what I came to. So, hey, babe, Jan, I saw you sneak in here. I know. And sometimes fix them, heal them, save them, all of them. Animals, people, just let me, And which is funny because I'm very introverted. My husband would tell you I am very introverted, but I love people. I can't stand society because I do want to help people, but then I'll go to a point. I kind of turn the other cheek a lot more with myself. But if I get to a point, you better call for Jesus, because there's not really an off switch. It takes a lot, but if I get pushed to a point, I hate it for you. Yeah, I see that a lot. And I tell people, I'm like, I cannot save you. I'm giving you direction. I'm sorry you did it for a week and it didn't work. I'm sorry that you don't like the taste of that. What do you want me to do? I get that. I'm not, can't just pull something out of a hat and say, here, you're cured. And I understand people get scared, and I give grace. Don't be wrong. I give grace. Yeah, there is a lot of that. And I think, so I balance that on somebody, really sick. No doctors are left at home. No specialists. There's no answers. I understand that. I do. And then some people are just selfish and demanding and disrespectful. Hey, Mayhem. Darren, he made a live and it was unscheduled. No, Tan, you cannot please everyone. And this isn't like, Dusty, this isn't like, woe is me. And this is so, because I say this all the time. The good by far outweighs the bad. But I'm also a person to be like, this is what's going on. And these are why the changes are kind of not a big, there's certain things I won't ever go into that don't coming up here and give an explanation and all these details. But I will be, forthright with you guys. Like, this is the change. This is what I'm doing. Because also I wanted to talk about the changes. So if somebody's like, what's going on with this channel? I started following this channel because it was like a, prepping based natural channel. And there's this change because I understand. And I told people when I was talking to my husband, I said, I may lose a ton of subs and that's okay. And I pray for everyone. And because the numbers haven't been what it's about. And I do appreciate everyone's support and everyone that's been with me. I do understand that. And so I want to be honest about what's coming on, what's going on, and what may be changing. Oh, thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's just how I am. And I didn't want to, and I'm a big person on not making, being reactive or making rash decisions. Yes, there are times you have to sit in the seat with Pop B and do War Game Wednesday. You'll find out. But in general about things like this, I needed to step back because I knew I was feeling certain things from an emotional standpoint, and that sense of dread and resentment, everything. I couldn't decide, and I won't do that. So I took time back, let my, thoughts clear. And no, I'm not leaving. Are you talking to me, Hillbilly? I'm not leaving. Did you just come in here? You have to watch the replay. No. Yeah. No, I'm not. Certain things. If it comes like to my family, my kids, my people, I'll catch a charge in a hot minute. Miss Sharon. Okay, everybody can relax. Yeah, Yeah, it can get draining. I mean, when it got to the point where I was feeling anxious to go open my emails because I knew that it was going to be flooded and it was going to be, and not all of them. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying, please don't everybody think, oh, you can't email me. You can. I encourage that. It was just, I have to do it as a whole and say this what's going on, because the ones that were doing it will hear. That's just what it is. Hey, Native, I appreciate you. I'll still do, I'm still Liberty Tree. I got things I got to put over there now. But I mean, it's just like when you work or there's anything in life, you're like, I just need a break from this. That's just how it goes. And that's what, yeah, of course, backwoods knows. And I mean, there's times it's up to every creator, and you really don't know till you get in this seat. You don't realize the behind the scenes and the nonsense that can go on. And most of the nonsense like trolls are trolls, and we have nasty grams and all these different things that can go on. And most of it you let it roll off and whatever. But then some of it's bombarding, some of it is it's over the top. So I just have to be, hey, Aaron, that's fine. A lot of people, I didn't think much people would make it in here anyways, because it wasn't scheduled. And I usually don't do this, but I needed to address it. I need to address it today. And so we can keep moving forward. That's just how I am. Well, that's one way to look at it, right? But hey, Snoopy. Yeah. And I encourage everyone to do that. Like, I remember I have said this so many times before, and I still encourage this. If you get to a point where you're like overwhelmed or getting down or there's different things like that can go on, and you have to step away and you need to stay off of YouTube, or you need to go, I call them like feel good videos. Like, I have certain ones I follow that doesn't have anything to do with anything that could be chaotic. They're just, and some of mine are like where it could be, and I'll just kind of relax or watch it, and it can be different food things or different things from different eras. I like old, I swore I was born in the wrong era, from more vintage type things. It's just, it kind of takes you away from it. If you ever feel that way, you need to take a break also. You stay off of these things because that's self-care. Hey, T-Paul, how are you? Oh, Hillbilly. Yeah, you have to rewatch. I'm not leaving. Just some changes. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I think the biggest thing is I'm still going to do my Sunday lives. When I started this, I said I wouldn't do any content, even emails and different things on Saturdays, because those were my boundaries. That was my family time, mainly like a lot of the weekend, but I would do my Sunday, and that has gotten out of hand. And then I don't think I'm really going to cover any prepping. I'm not going to cover like new stuff really anymore. I'm not going to do that. There's certain things that maybe say I know, like, hey, they're about to pull this, and you need to look if you are on these supplements or meds or something like that. I'll probably get information. I may do those things over on LTF if it's something, especially if I have to code so much over here, because I get tired of that racket also. And I'm not chasing platforms. People are like, you need to go here. You need to. I'm not chasing platforms. That is, I mean, my plate is so full. I'm not going to do that. But I'll still do. I mean, this is my life. I'll still do, natural stuff and herbal stuff and health, everything like that. It's just going to be. It's just, yeah, I'm not branding my channel as a prepping channel for natural wellness. That is part of my life. I don't have my head in the sand and thinking I don't want to know anything about this. We have to know that this is my life. I will still, keep up with information for myself and my family. I'm just not going to be up here presenting that the same way. Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll see how many times that gets done. They should be here the end of this month or by April 1st. The weather is really cold and rainy. Like, we're getting freezes and ice rain, and that's unusual for right now. So we've been a little worried about that. But yeah, that's part of the winter things And I think that some of these changes are part of growth. That's inevitable in life, and that's what I want. So yes, I'll do that. Exactly, backwoods. We get lots of that. Yeah. I mean, I try to always give as much grace. There's certain lines I have no grace for. I'm sure you can understand which one of those are. But yeah, I mean, until you're in the seat, it's not always what you think it is. I don't know how far back I am, but my chat is jumping around. So I just, I'm not going to keep you guys long. I'm sorry if I've missed you, if you had a question. Yeah, I had a great time. I kind of had that renewed, peace and calmness again. And I try to keep myself that way because the world's chaotic enough. He's the big guy. I'll film the first several with him and see how their personalities are. Yeah. And prepper burnout, whether you're a creator or not, is very real. You will get it. At different stages, it will come because it can be exhausting. That happens. Same as this, same as when you get burnout, many different things. Hey, Gigi. Yes, Rudy over Alaska Prepper, he's doing the same thing. And it does. It can become consuming, and you can have kind of a negative energy that comes over. And everyone has a different reason why that could or couldn't happen. I think when you're in this long enough as a creator and on this side, you're going to run into that at different stages. That's just what it is. Yeah. That's why I tell people, I'm like, don't let this consume you, the negativity of stuff, because there is so much there's so much we still have to be grateful for. There's beauty all around us. There's things to be thankful every single day. I don't care how small it is. And I'm not a doom and gloom person. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm not living in reality. I know that is, but I choose to not let that consume me. I take it in. I talk about it all the time. Like, give me all the details, all of it. The worst of the worst. Go ahead and give it to me. Let me sort through that. Okay, well, what can I control? What can I not? What do I need to do? And I mean, that's just the way I choose to deal with things. But thank you, Dusty. Oh, CDC, I don't know. I'm worried because this spring is colder, and this is our first season. I'm very worried, but I'm trying to stay positive, and we'll learn as we go. I'm sure we're going to have those moments like anything when you start something new on a homestead. You have those little glitches where, but you learn as you go, and that happens. Thank you, T-Paul. I appreciate it. I do. I mean, I do. I know I said a lot of negative. I don't mean it like as a whole, or that I'm just complaining. I just want to be transparent in that area with you guys and kind of what's been going, because I've also kind of been MIA, right? I just kind of was like, okay, I got to step back for a minute. Thank you, Steve. So, oh, thank you. We'll get there. Hey, Teresa. I know what you meant. Southern maybe. Oh, I'm glad they're doing well. That's great. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. If I missed you, I'm very sorry. I try to scan through these. Oh, okay, Darren. Be safe. Oh gosh. That topic, I did get some emails and said that there were certain creators that were talking about bank situations that are going on, and they were getting smacks for that. That you can't talk about that on here. I don't know, but see, that's the game. It doesn't matter. It wasn't against the guidelines yesterday, but it is today. But a lot of that's going on. I did go out earlier, and I had to run to the store, and in the grocery store, the chain grocery store, there's no cash back posted in there. And then the two of the cashiers, one was kind of at the self-checkout area, was talking to another cashier over there where I was, and said that her husband had called her at lunch and said there was like a $250 limit on cash withdrawals today at the banks in town. I don't know myself. That's what they were talking about. I don't know. So hey, Pat, that's okay. I understand. And this is an odd time of day, but I was like, I need to do it before because I don't usually do stuff like this on, I need to do it before I had to start my dinner prepping and stuff. That's okay, Miss Sharon. You do what you need to do. Really, I really don't have issues in here. And this was just kind of an update, and I'm not going to stay on here. Hey, Mama Bear, J15. I have a couple Mama Bears. I have several of them that come in here. Try to keep you all straight. Yeah, I think so. In a lot of ways, I think so. And that's why I started my thing is I want people to be okay and prepared and you know. It does feel like that. Is Backwoods still in here? It does feel like that. And Darren, a lot of the inquiries are in here. It can feel like that. You don't know. You just don't know till you get in it. Because I came in when you're green and you're brand new at this. It's just like, oh, we're all like-minded. We're in here just having a good time. And but there's so many things from all over the place. It can be like that. But I mean, like I say, oh, you need to change your name. No, you don't have to change your name. You be you. Do whatever. I have to look at the numbers because a lot of them are like that and have numbers. And so I want to make sure. Oh, hey, Pilgrim, thank you for coming by. See, we know what this is. We know what this is a setup precursor to. We know this isn't, oh gosh, I don't know how this happened. We know what this is about. I saw a thing, well, I probably can't even say it on here because we got to jump those hoops, toe the line. But it went from trains to banks, right? Yes. And see, that is what a lot of my stuff is going to be. I do bartering stuff. Now we do that. And that's kind of things I want to focus on. And not like I'm like, oh, I'm living in La La Land and everything's just positive and great. I understand that. And there's things I will address. Yes. See, I have things I have to go cover tonight, and we're getting ice, and it's unusual for this time of year, and that puts a setback with things in a lot of areas. I mean, just it depending on where you are. Now, some people, they're like, oh, we're still getting so much snow. Yes, it's true. See what he said. I do, and when I'm not on here, I miss myself, and I'll think about I wonder how. They're doing if they're okay, or if somebody had talked to me about an email or a prayer request. I get lots of prayer requests. I welcome that. And then I'll wonder. I do miss that, but I really I just needed a little mental break vacation and figure something out. But I think I also, speaking of, Dusty, you were in here talking about Amazon orders. I am seeing more and more. I'm getting little kind of alerts on my phone. If people order from here or associated with this, or they're saying expect delays because of all of the bank stuff, that they're having delays and they're not guaranteed. There was even things like Etsy or different things. They were saying, yeah. Oh gosh, I'm a seasoned homeschool mama. Okay, I've got a bunch of kids. Some are graduated and some are not. And yes, you get that. Like anything else, I understand that. But I'm big on, my personal take and opinion about that is so much about life skills, and there's so much that our life that they learn the things that they need to have, math. I always told my kids, I was like, if you can read and comprehension, you can learn anything. I always, that's, it doesn't even matter if it's, math. If you can read, you can learn anything. Yes, Miss Sharon. Oh gosh, Dragon Lake. See, I'm too Southern for that. Okay, you're new to the channel. No, I don't have a printable. No, I mean, you can go through, like, I would, like, if you go through my old videos way back, and then, see if there's something on there that you're particularly looking for. If you're looking for something like that, I do have some, and I talk about individual videos. This can be helpful alternative. Always read my disclaimer. Do things safe. Keep your doctor in the loop. Yada yada. Do those things. I do have some that are alternatives for prescriptions. You can look into those videos and see if you see what you're looking for. Yeah, backwoods. I figured y'all were still getting it, but yeah, we're under freeze, and we're supposed to get freezing rain starting tonight. And I have things outside in the ground in the garden, so I'm going to be covering and praying I don't lose things. This has put us behind because it was February, which is usually our absolute coldest month. We were in the 80s and stuff. Through this whole month, it's supposed to be colder than the whole month of February was. And I have a small greenhouse inside that I do my seedlings, and I start things, or certain things I'll grow all year round in here, but I can't do my bulk amount of my garden in there. I can't do that. So, we do what we can, and that's just kind of part of how it happens sometimes. Sorry, I just got an alert on I had to read. So, anyways, I want to update you. Of course, you have questions. I'm going through here before I have to sign off. And I'm praying. I see there's something going on with Tiger. I'm going to have to go back and read the updates, but I'm praying. I see it must be for your brother. I'm praying for everyone. I believe in the power of prayer and community for things like that. Also, okay, about one of the things why I had to take a break, that was kind of my boundaries that I allowed that to happen, was I allowed my time of doing content on the two platforms that I'm part of. I have not worked on my book, and I wanted to have that out by the new year. So that should tell you something. And that's been bothering me. But I was like, but I need to, this urgency, I need to get this out now. I need to help this. I need to do this live. I need to, and so that's part of all that, because this platform at some point is going to be gone. They're going to snatch that in some manner, or take us who cover these type of things away. And I am huge. People who follow me, I am huge on hard copies. And I'm trying to make, my book is going to be very kind of like how I am, very no nonsense, easy to kind of go through. It is not meant to replace anything, medical, be smart, but because I want people to have something in hand for these type of things in the future. And that's part of this. I wanted that done by the end of the year last year, and everything's gotten out of hand. Gosh, backwoods, stay safe over there. Okay, guys, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for understanding. And again, anybody who it's like it doesn't fit. It doesn't. The channel changes doesn't fit what you want. I understand that. I understand that as well. But I welcome everyone. I pray for everyone, and everyone always do what is the best for you. And if you are one of those, and you're in a spot in your life where you're like, I'm feeling drained, I'm feeling resentful, I'm feeling kind of that my peace and joy is kind of being stolen, and I'm imbalanced with that. Please take those times to step back. Please do that, because there's so much that is out of our control, and that is horrible. So you better feed into the good parts more to find that balance. Okay. So everyone, y'all, you take care, and I love all of you. Be safe. Crazy times. Keep doing the things, and I'll see you guys next time.